It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Siena Saints head softball coach, Coach Casey Bump. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in coaching in college softball?
Well, I played at the highest level, so I knew that that was the level that I enjoyed playing at. So I did start at the high school level and realized pretty quick that it wasn't for me. So I moved in on to coaching at a D3 level, which I absolutely loved. I was able to coach with a girl that I played with at UAlbany at RPI, and I was there coaching, and I was teaching at the same time. And then I realized that coaching is what I wanted to do. And when I was at RPI, I was just part-time. And so when this job came about as the assistant, I left my teaching job and, realized that this is what I wanted to do.
What was that experience like going to Albany and getting to play collegiate softball?
Oh, it was amazing. You don't realize how grateful you are, until when you're actually done with it, I felt like. But I really enjoyed it. The coach, Chris Canada, who's still there, she was amazing. She gave me a lot of opportunities, and I worked hard to try to keep them. And we had a great experience there.
As a player, what was it like representing them and putting on that uniform for them?
Honestly, I wanted to represent UAlbany every single time I could. And I really, really enjoyed putting the uniform on. We went to a lot of great places. And I had a ton of opportunities to get on the field and pitch and, win my team championships. And it's just an amazing experience. And not everybody gets to do that. So, when I got that opportunity, I really didn't take it for granted.
As a player, what was that experience like competing in the NCAA tournament?
Honestly, like it was that back then when I played, it wasn't determined where you would go. So, my first year that we won a championship, we went to Notre Dame, and they were so welcoming. They brought us in, they took us on the football field, and we were able to like go around and do a lot of different things. And the next 2 years that we won a championship, because I won one my sophomore, junior, and senior year, and the next 2 years we went to Hofstra and UMass, and they were just as great, but nothing was like going to Notre Dame. And but again, those opportunities, I got a chance to do it 3 times, so it was nice to get those opportunities, but you have to work for them. And as a whole, we did.
As a coach, what was that experience like coming into RPI and getting to become a pitching coach?
Um, it was so much fun. Those girls, they loved being there. They wanted to work for you every day. And obviously the head coach, Amber, who's still there, she's just an amazing girl. So they wanted to win for her. And these it's a different level, but honestly, those girls showed up every day wanting to compete and wanting to work hard, and I loved it. I wouldn't, change anything about that. It was just so much fun.
What was that transition like for you going from being an assistant coach to coming to Siena and becoming a head coach?
Well, I first started out as an assistant. Are you talking about at Siena or from
Mhm.
RPI to here?
Siena.
Oh, at Siena. Honestly, one of the biggest things I've always been told to do is just surround yourself with good coaches. And I had a different assistant then, and I have Scania, and I have George. George has been with me since day one, and I made sure that I've surrounded myself with great coaches to help with the transition. And these guys, George and Scania, they work so hard for me. Day in and day out, they make sure we have everything we need to get ready for the game. And I have such a great group of girls that want to work. We come every day. Today's our off day, and if we didn't have to have an off day, I can tell you right now, these girls would be in the gym right now, hitting and out on the field fielding.
Of course, for you, what was that feeling like becoming a head coach for the first time and coming to Siena?
It was an honor. Our athletic director, he believed in me, and he gave me the job. And I was the assistant for 7 years, so he saw what I could do. And it's again, you got to bring in the right kids and the right athlete, and work every day to not just continue to what they have, but make them better. And we have a great group of girls. We've had a couple family members come through, and with the COVID year, we were able to like bring back some kids and throughout the years, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Of course, for you, how has that transition been like easy, as you said, being an assistant coach for 7 years and then getting to become a head coach at that same school?
I'm one of those people that I like to talk to my peers, when I'm out playing teams or, in the airport and I see another coach, I have no trouble, walking up to them and asking them different questions as to, this, that, or whatever, out recruiting. And so I just needed to make sure I got the base of what I needed. Being here already for 7 years, and, they had the kids that were already here when I was the assistant. I changed some things, and we've only been going up from there. And that's kind of what was the big thing was, you had to make a few changes. And I sat down at the time when I with George, my assistant, and we kind of went over some things as to what we had to do. And he's worked really hard out recruiting, and Scania gets here every day, and she makes sure we're ready for each game. And it's just been a good transition.
For you as a head coach, what was that feeling like the first time you got to step onto that softball field as a head coach?
Oh, not any different than when you're a player. You kind of put yourself in the moment, and just kind of anything take for what you were a player and what you did as a player, and kind of just transition it into a coach, and kind of mentor them, every game.
What does a typical game day look like for you as a coach versus for your players?
Oh, for me, I get up super early. I'm an early person, and I go work out. I make sure I get my workout in before the game, and then when I come here, I typically will look over a film real quick. I look at my, scouting reports. I kind of just try to stay relaxed, and make sure we have everything we need. And that's why I make sure to get a workout in before the game. Kind of calms me and gets me ready, and we don't have a ton of time in between games, especially now these next couple weeks. We got home late last night from Fairfield, and we have today, and we play again tomorrow.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've started to build for Siena softball?
The culture that we're trying to build is we're a family. This game is not about me, and it's not about individual person. It's about us all. And we need to lean on each other, and we need to pick each other up, and we gotta be there for each other in a family. And that's kind of one thing that I've preached since day one. And you got to use each other to love each other. And once you believe in each other, then we're gonna win. And then this group has really, really done a great job of it.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against each week?
I mean, we got 10 other teams in the conference that we compete with. We've already played the Mount. We played Fairfield last weekend. Tomorrow we play Marist. And the weekend we play Ryder. We then will come back with Canisius, and Niagara, and then we have St. Peter's and Marist. This year we went to a 3-game series, so we don't have enough weekends, so we don't play 2 teams. We do not play Iona and Quinnipiac.
Of course, what is that home game atmosphere like when teams like Fairfield comes to home versus going to Mount St. Mary's away?
We actually had to move the Fairfield game this weekend to Fairfield. Our field was not playable, so we actually went to Fairfield when we were supposed to be home. So the atmosphere we'll know tomorrow. Tomorrow we are home against Marist.
Of course, what will that home atmosphere feel like?
They're excited, right? They don't got to get on a bus. They don't got to stay in a hotel. They walk down to the field. They got their home uniform on, and then they're excited to be there. My girls have a lot of fun. That is one thing that I will not take away from them. They have a lot of fun. They come to every game with energy. They cheer from the first pitch to the last pitch, and they really have a good time.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes?
Oh, well, I mean, the recruitment process is, it's long, it's tiring. They do a lot of travel. We have quite a bit of kids from Arizona, California, and we got, a few locals in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So a lot of them, I mean, we can start recruiting them September 1, their junior year. And, so we can start talking to them. We may find them before that, but we can start talking to them, bringing them in, and kind of making sure you get the right kid nowadays.
Of course, as a head coach, what is it like seeing those players come on campus and fall in love with the campus and the softball facility?
Oh, it's exciting, right? I mean, that's what you're here for. You're here to bring them in. I mean, when we spend time with them and they see it and they love it and then they commit, that's a success for us. So, that's kind of what we hope. I mean, the school sells itself. Siena is an absolutely gorgeous school. The academics is amazing. So, just getting them on campus. Sometimes these big kids, they go and see the big school and then we don't get them here, but, getting them on campus is always a good thing. And then once we get them here, we do pretty well with getting them.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that Siena jersey for the first time versus your seniors put it on for the last time?
They're just young. They're excited. They got the jersey on. They feel good. They don't know what's ahead. They got still have, 4 years of this, and it's good to see them, excited to put it on. And you know what? My seniors are just as excited. So, I have, a fifth year that came back. She didn't need to come back. She got into vet school and she just wants to wear that Sienna uniform. And, that's the thing about these kids is that they all enjoy wearing it.
What is it like as a head coach getting to see those players achieve those big milestones like their first home runs, their first hits?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you see a kid succeed, you need to be excited for them, and I think that that's kind of where we're at. I hope every kid that comes here and plays at Siena gets an opportunity to, have that moment, and whether it's, getting the winning run if you were running for somebody, or getting the winning hit or the winning pitch or whatever it is, that's kind of what you bring them here to do, to hope that they all have that moment, winning a championship, right? So that's what we're kind of all here to do. And I think that that's kind of the big thing is, all of them are going to get that opportunity, and when it's your turn, then you do something with it.
Of course, what is it like getting to see those players go on and achieve great things after collegiate softball, whether it's going to play professionally or getting into college coaching?
Yeah, I mean, to me, we have done a great job getting them to graduate and then they go on and get a good job. And I think that it's important to be excited and to see where any of them are. I hope to have a great relationship with all my kids. We were at the Mount the other day, and one of our kids that graduated, the other who's in PT school, she lives out there. She came and watched us play. That's kind of where we're at, and we hope that we can continue that tradition. It's a grueling year. It's exhausting, but at the end of the day, they know that I'm here for them, and they got to graduate college and move on and get a good job, and give their parents some money back.
So far as a head coach, what have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish?
I mean, as a head coach, I think that the 30 wins, it was really important. Watching these kids, succeed, all around. I think we have, one more thing that we really, really need to do, and we're right there. It's win that championship. I just think that, every day we need to come and fight and get better. I mean, I think, it's kind of been a short 4 years, really it's been three because 1 year was COVID. So where we didn't get a ton of games, but we've made it to the conference tournament every year, and we need to win now. Now that's where we're at, and I think that that's where the girls are at, and we're going to do that.
What are some of your future plans for the Siena softball program moving forward?
Win a championship, go to the NCAAs, and move on there.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college softball?
Come in shape. Be ready to go, and we give our kids an opportunity in the fall to really show us what they got. I think it's when you come in, you got to be ready to go right from the beginning, and you can't take that summer off before you come in and think that you're going to be ready. You got to come in ready to go.
What advice would you give those seniors looking to go play professional softball after their playing career, whether it's Athletes Unlimited or the MPF?
Yeah, just work. If you have goals, you got to work for them. That's kind of what I say to them all the time. If there's something you want to do, you got to go for it. You shoot for it. And if it doesn't happen, then you go back to the drawing board and you figure it out.
What advice would you give those college softball players out there looking to play in college, getting into college coaching after their playing career?
Yeah, I talk to them all the time about, educating themselves and, asking questions. You don't know everything. It's kind of like, I tell my players all the time, I learn every day. There's so much into this game that's evolved and it's moving, and as a player or as a coach, if you take a job or when you get a job, you got to be willing to learn every single day as to what you need to do to be better. And that's advice that I would give them is that if coaching is what they want to do, just make sure that you surround yourself with good people and you get yourself out there to ask questions and get better.
What advice would you give those assistant coaches out there looking to go from being assistant to a head coach one day?
It's the same thing somebody gave me. Surround yourself with good coaches. It's not a one-man show. You need to make sure that your assistants are people that you can trust, that are willing to work hard for you, that want to help you get better, and also are willing to learn to get better as well.
What advice would you give those head coaches out there looking to build their own program and build their own legacy?
Work hard. It's not given. You know what I mean? We come in at 6 a.m. here at practice. We practice 6 a.m. We come back in the afternoon. We do fielding. They lift. And as a coach, you got to work towards it. You got to get out there. You got to recruit. You got to bring the kids in. Just work hard, and good things will happen.
That's great advice. What advice would you give those head coaches that are looking to build their own program and start their own program?
Like I said, I would just continue to make sure that they work hard.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Siena Saints softball program at?
We have Twitter, Siena Softball. Siena Softball has a Twitter and a Facebook.
Thank you again, Coach Casey Bump, for your interview, and best of luck in your future at Siena.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon. You can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Casey Bump, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you. You too.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.